Hello my dear friends, good morning to all of you. In the last video lecture session, we have discussed about the unit number 1, part 1 of the PEM subject, right? So in this video lecture session, we are going to discuss the new part 2 of unit number 1. The part 2's name is the theory of demand and supply. Okay, so let's start it. First one, what is the meaning of demand, right? ગુજરાતીમાં એને કહેવાય છે માંગ. ઓકે, તો જોઈએ. Demand means what? Total quantity of the customer are willing and able to purchase is called the demand, right? If any customer have a willingness to purchase a Mercedes, but he is not or she is not able to purchase this product, then it cannot consider as a demand. Whenever a person or customer has a willingness, then after ability to purchase this product, then and then this product's demand is considered, right? So a demand function is the behavior function for the consumers. A supply function is the behavior function of producers. So we have described the market behavior using this through two, we can say that demand and supply factor, right? So in the next slide, there are the main two demands. First one is a direct demand and second one is a derived demand. So direct demand means what? For the consumption of goods and services that satisfies the customer desire is called the direct demand. If we have to demand any product, not for as a complementary purpose, not for as a substitute purpose, we have to only purchase a one product directly to for the consumption, right? Not for the sale. So it's called the direct demand. Okay, take the example, if you have purchased any product for the resale, it cannot consider as a direct demand if you purchase any product for your purpose, for your consumption, right? So it's called the direct demand. Okay, then after, derived demand means what? These are sometimes called the intermediate goods. Take the example, here is one example. Consider demand for the steel and the intermediate good is derived from the demand for the final goods. Example is automobiles, right? Then here we also consider the another example, that demand of cotton is considered as the intermediate good or derived good for the, we can say that producing the clothes, right? So there are the various products are considering for the, they have to consider as the demand of, we can say that derived demand, right? Then after, quantity demand, that means what? Amount of goods that consumer is willing to buy and able to buy, but at the given price over the time is called the quantity demand. Okay, here we take the one example, that a person have a demand of a particular product for the particular time and he is able to purchase this product, then is considered as the demand of the product, right? So here we are going to discuss about the law of demand. In your examination, I am given you the, we can say that assurity from the law of demand and the law of supply. You can have to be prepared this two laws, law of demand and law of supply. In your examination, out of two, one can ask by GTU. Okay, so you have to prepare law of demand or law of supply. Okay, so first one, there are the law of demand means what? All other things remaining unchanged, the quantity of demand of the goods increase when its price is decreased and vice versa. Okay, means what? There are the various factors are affected to the demand. Take the example, first example is the price. If the product's price is decreases, your demand is increased, right? You can also take your example. Whenever you have to purchase any product, if the price of product is decreased, you can automatically purchase the higher products, or we can say quantity you have to demand higher, right? So law of demand is working over that if the price is decreases, then your demand is increases, and vice versa. If the price is increases, your demand is decreases. So is a law of demand is working on the basis of price of the product, right? But if here there are the one condition, that the all other things are remain unchanged, means what? There are the various types of factors are affecting on the demand. Take the example, taste of customers, then after income of customer, then after the substitute products price. So these all topics are discussed in the next slides. Okay, so here you have to learn about the meaning of law of demand. This relationship can be shown by the schedule of demand, demand curve or demand function. If in the GTU examination you have to write this law of demand, at that time you have to first write the meaning of law of demand, then after you should write the assumption of law of demand, then after schedule of law of demand, and then after one graph you have to draw it, and then after explain it. Okay, then and then you can get the 7 out of 7 marks or 14 out of 14 marks, right? So let's see. Here there are the assumption of law of demand. So there are the, whenever, take the example, whenever you have to assume, without the assumption any law cannot complete it, because there are the assumptions are considered, then and then the law, any law are applicable. Okay, so here the first assumption is price of related goods do not change. If the related goods price is remain unchanged, because it is not real but it is a assumption. In the real market, or we can say in the real market, and we can say in the production price, there are not considered as the that the all prices cannot be unchanged, right? Then after, the income of the consumer do not change. It's, we can say that not very real, or we can say assumptions are considered, because the income of the customer can frequently change, it cannot be fixed, right? But here there are the assumptions are considered. Then after, taste and preference of the consumer remain constant. It's not possible, but it is an assumption, so you should assume whenever you write this law of demand. So here there are the taste and preference of the consumer means what? Here you have to write that it's not possible, because consumers are the king of market, and sometimes you, whenever, as according to your age, according to your, we can say your views and ideas, your taste and preferences are changed. But whenever we have to write this law of demand, at that time we have to assume that the taste and preference of consumer is remain constant. Then no expectation of the consumer to any change in the price of commodity in the near future. But it's not possible, because in the near future, or we can say that the product of price may be changed, but there are the mainly 4 assumption of the law of demand. Whenever you write this law of demand, then you have to write this assumption of demand. Then after, here there are the schedule of demand. So here you can see there are the mainly 2 columns, price and quantity. Here when the price is 4 rupees, then the quantity demanded 28. Then after, price increase 4 to 8, then demand is decreased 28 to 15 units. Then after, if the price is increased further 12 units, 12 rupees, then the quantity is decreases from 15 to 5. If the price is higher than 12 to 16 rupees, then the quantity is also decreased from 5 to 1. And if the price is very higher, then you cannot demand this product, right? So here there are, you can simply see that if the prices is getting higher, then your quantity is decreases, right? So here it's considered as the demand schedule. Demand schedule shows the difference quantity of the goods as the consumer willing to buy the various prices. Prices and the quantities is normally moves from the opposite direction. You see that prices increases and the quantities decreases, right? So in the next slide, here there are the demand curve. So you should we can say prepare about it, and you should write and draw this demand curve. A curve is showing the relationship between the price of good and quantities of demanded. So here on the x-axis there are the quantity of product, and on the y-axis there are the price of product, right? And here there are the DD. You have to write that DD. DD means what? Demand curve. Here there are demand curve is shift, or we can say flopping from left to right. Okay, left to right means what? We can say if the prices is getting higher, then your quantity is, you have to demand less, right? So here you should learn about it. Okay, then after, there are the demand functions. A demand function, there are the causal relationship between the dependent variable like the quantity of demand and various independent variables. There are the factor which believe in the influence of the quantity demanded, right? So here there are the mathematical equation that the quantity is equal to functional relationship of the price. Okay, if the price is higher, then your demand is lower, and if the price is lesser, then your demand is also higher. Okay. Then after, in the GTU examination, sometimes they have to ask what are the determinants of the demand. So here there are the determinants of demand. First one, own price, means what? Means the product's price. Okay, so first is the price of the product is the one determinants of the demand. Then second one is the income of consumer. If the income of consumer is higher, then the demand of product is higher. Okay, take the example. If you have a 5,000 rupees, then you have to demand the two product, any two product. And if you have the, we can say income is, your income is increasing from the 5,000 to 10,000, then you have to, we can say demand the higher products, right, and higher in the quantity. So here there are the income of consumer. Then second one is the price of other goods. There are the mainly two types of goods, complementary goods and the substitute goods. In the next slide you have to learn in detail about it. Then after, taste and preference. Okay, taste and preference means what? Taste and preference means the consumer's choice. Okay, consumer's choice cannot stuck into any product. You can also take the any product example. Okay, take the example of the any, we can say that I have given you one example of the Activa. Okay, that Activa is the one type of, we can say, vehicle making firm, right, vehicle making company. So in this company you can see that Activa's models are changed from 3G, 4G, 5G, 6G. Okay, so how can, and we can say why they have to doing this type of a new version in this vehicle type, because we can say that the customer cannot stuck the any product, they have to change their preference and taste. That's why they have to launch this new and new products versions. Okay, then after, expectation of the future price means what? If customer expect that the product's price can decrease in the future, then now he or she cannot demand this product. Take the example, nowadays the gold, right? If customer have to be expectation that in the nearby future gold's price may be higher, then the person can demand nowadays higher this product. And if they have the expectation that in the nearby future gold's rate may be, we can say, lesser, right, so they cannot demand nowadays, or they have to be a cannot demand this product. So expectation of the future price can directly affected on the demand. Okay, then after, advertising. If you have to given the higher advertise, then your product can sell the higher and your customer can demand this higher product. Take the example, some person have a, we can say that ideal personality of the film industries, and then after actress, and some have the ideal personality of the cricket field. Take the Virat Kohli, MS Dhoni, then after Sachin Tendulkar. So if they have to launch the particular product, then automatically person can purchase, or we can say demand this product, right? Then after, distributions of the income. If your distribution of income means in your we can say family, right, in your family income there are, if your family income is 10,000 rupees and your family members are 5 members, so there are the distribution per head is to be at 2,000 rupees. If your, we can say, take the example, your income of the family is higher from the 10,000 to 20,000, then per head we can say that the per head the income is rises from 2,000 to 4,000. So your quantity of the demand can automatically increases, right? I hope you understand about it. Then after, types of good. In the last slide, there are the two names are given, that the complementary goods and substitute goods. So here there are the explanation of about this. What is the meaning of complementary good? Complementary goods are the pairs of the goods that are consumed together as the price of one goods is up and the demand for the other is false. So here complementary goods are the goods there are, we can say, equally, we can say that parallelly we have to use these products, so it's called the complementary good. If the one product's price is higher, then automatically the second product's is demands false. So there are, we can say, complementary, we should use it together. Here there are the example of car and petrol. Okay, if the car's price is higher, then your, we can say, cars is demands is false, and automatically demand of the petrol is false, right? So here there are the, we can say that use this product complementary, so there are pair, we can say, of the goods. Then after the substitute goods means what? Substitute goods, there are the alternative to each other. As the price one goes up, then the demand for the other is also goes up. Example, there are the Pepsi and Coca-Cola. Okay, if the any firm is decreases their price, then other firm can also decreases their price, because there are the complementary, not, but there are the substitute goods. Substitute good means they have to compete to each other, right? There are the we can say substitute of each other. Then after, normal goods. Normal goods are those goods whose demand goes up when the consumer's income is increases. So there are the normal goods. If a consumer's income is increases, then this product's demand is higher. Then after, inferior goods. Inferior goods are those goods whose demand is false when the consumer's income is increases. Take the example of auto, travelers and kerosene. If a person have the higher income, then person cannot they cannot demand this type of products. Okay, they can purchase their own vehicles, and they can uses that like gas pipelines, LPGs, right? Then after, giffen good. Giffen goods are those goods whose demand moves in the same direction as the price. Means if the price is higher, then the goods we can say demand is also higher. Then snob or the venerable goods are those goods whose demand is false when the price is false. So here there are the various types of we can say goods types. Okay. Then after, exceptions of the law of demand. Okay, as you know, there are the one coin have a two sides, so there are the exemption of the law of demand. Goods is the indicating the esteem value status in the form of the distinctions that demand is not affected even a price is rise. Take the example like the gold, jewelries. If their price is higher, then some persons, some rich persons and wealthy person can buy the higher this product. If their price is higher, then they also buy the higher. So here there are the law of demand is not applicable, so it is considered as the exception. Okay. Second one, when the price of inferior goods is false, then the people shifted to better substitute goods, and thus the demand for the inferior goods does not increases. This is popularly described as the economics as a Giffen paradox. Means there are the given goods, there are the inferior goods that people can use the better substitute. Take the example, if a people, take the example, if any person, or we can say that if a person, take the example, he is poor, so he is consume the jowar. Okay, if his income is higher, then he cannot substitute or he can use the jowar substitute is the rice, right? So he consume the rice product, they cannot consider the jowar. Okay, anticipation of the future rise is the price is same commodity. Okay, goods with the inelastic demand, take the example of salt. Inelastic demands are considered in the part 3. There are the elasticity of demand, right? So here what is the meaning of it? I simply given you the meaning of this. If the price is higher, we can say that if the price of the product is decreased, we cannot demand this higher product. Take the example, if the salt is price is decreased, we cannot consume the higher salt, right? Okay, then after, shift is of, we can say that the demand curve. Demand curve is shift from left to right and right to left. Here there are the example of it. A change in demand is reflected by the shift of the demand curve is caused by the change any of the non-price determinants of the price demand, right? So here what are the meaning of it? Here there are the price cannot change, but other factor, take the example of consumers taste and fashions, customers, we can say that willingness, then after consumers income. If this price is same, then other factors are variable. At that time your demand curve is shift from, we can say that in the right side is called the increase in demand. Okay, then after, A change in quantity of demand, however, is infected the movable along the curve is called the extension or contraction of demand. The movement of A to B or due to the change of the demand factor is remaining unchanged. Here there are the other factor. Take the example of income of the consumer, then taste of the consumer, then substitute price. Here there all factors we can say that constant, and if the price is changed, then if the demand is higher, it's called the extension in demand, and if your demand is lesser, is called the contractions in demand. Okay. Then after, next point is the supply. I hope you understand about the demand, law of demand. Then law of supply means what? Okay. Here you assume that you are the producer. From the law of demand, you have to assume that you are working as a consumer. Okay. So give me one difference between the consumer and customer. What are the meaning of consumer and customer? Some people have understand that consumer and customer both words are same, but that's not. Consumer, there are the end user of products, and customer, they cannot use they are not the end user of product. They are the purchasing the product for the reuse, or we can say resell. So customer and consumer both are different. Okay. Then next one is a supply. Okay. Here you can assume yourself as a producer. Okay. The quantity of supply is the number of units that the sellers want to sell over the specified period of the time at a particular price. Supplier means producer. If producer have to sell any product at the particular price, particular time, okay, for the particular period, so it's called the supply of the product. Okay. So here there are the law of supply. Law of supply state that other factors remaining unchanged, supply of goods is increased as its price is increased. This can be shown by the supply schedule as a supply curve or the supply function. Means what? Seller can sell their product if the product's price is higher. Okay. And if the product's price is lower, or we can say decreases, seller cannot sell their product. Okay. Here there are the schedule term, that the supply of product. Before this, there are the assumption of law of supply. First one, there is a no change in the price factor of the production. Factor of the production are considered as the raw material, labor. So here we have assumed that our raw material price cannot change, our labor's cost cannot change. Then second assumption is there is a no change in the technique of production. We cannot change our technique regarding the production. Then third one, there is a no change in the goal of the firm. Fourth assumption, there is a no change in the price of related goods. Then fifth one, there is a no change of the business expectation. Okay, these are the assumption. This cannot possible in the real, we can say, market, but there are the assumption considered for the understanding of law of supply. Okay. So let's see, there are the schedule of law of supply. Here there are, we can say, totally opposite side of demand. So here you can see that the price, if the price is 1 rupees, then the seller can sell the products of only 2 units. If a price is higher from 1 to 5, then the quantity of supply is higher 2 to 10 units. Then after, if the price is rises from 5 to 8, then the quantity is also rise from 10 to 15. If the price is higher than 8 to 30, then the quantity is also higher from 50 to 25. And if the price is higher than there are the 30 to 20, then your quantity is also higher from 25 to 35. Okay. So here you can see there are the positive relationship between the quantity and price. If the price is higher, then your quantity is also higher. And in the demand we can see that if the price is higher, your demand is lower. So here in the demand there are the negative relationship between the price and the quantity, and here in the supply there are the positive relationship between the price and quantity. Okay. Then after, here there are the supply curve are considered. On the x-axis you can see that the quantity of product, and y-axis is indicate that the price of product, and here there are the SS means demand, we can say that supply curve. Okay. Supply curve is, we can say, start from the left to right side. Okay. So you can also prepare about the schedule of the supply, and then after you have to draw this graph. Supply function is show the relationship between the quantity and price, and there are the positive relationship between the, we can say that, the product and price. Here there are the determinants of the supply. First one is the price. If the product's price is higher, then your supply is also higher. Take the example, as a seller you can sell if if your product's price is higher. Okay, why you sell this product? Because if the price is higher of your product, then you can get the higher profit, right? So price is main determinants of the supply. Then second one is the cost of production. Okay, cost of production means what? There are the total, we can say, expense you have to consider whenever you're doing the production. So cost of production means the total cost for the doing the production. Okay, so if your total cost of production is decreases, then your, we can say that your product's price is totally, we can say, higher profit you can gain or you can earn. Okay, then after technological progress, if your technological progress is higher at your production house, then you can also produce the higher product. If your technological progress is lower, then you cannot, we can say, produce the higher products. Then after price of the related outputs, if your related outputs price is higher, then your, we can say that your margin of profit is lesser, and if your price of related output is lower, then your margin of profit is higher. Then government policies. Sometimes government help the producer for producing this product, so government policies are also affected on the supply. Some, take the example that in a Maggi product, right? Nestle's company's Maggi product can ban in the India, right? It's a government policy. Then they can also, we can say, doing some changes and they have to relaunch this product. Okay, so if your production, you have to doing production, and if the government policy is against your product, then your product cannot, we can say, working in the market, right? So these government policies are also applicable as a law of supply and supplies, okay, determinants. There are the all factors other than the price is caused as a shift the supply curve, and is called the change in supply. If the price is same and these other variables, we can say, are considered as the variables, then if a price is constant, then if a changes in demand is considered as the change in supply. Then after here there are the next point is the equilibrium. Equilibrium between the supply and demand. Okay, perfect balance in the supply and demand is called the equilibrium. So demand, market and output price. Here you can see there on the x-axis there are defined as the quantity of product, and y-axis is defined and indicate it's the price of the product. Here DD, it's the demand curve. SS means supply curve, and here it's a point, you can see that's the, here you can see, right, here is the, we can say, consider this point is considered as the equilibrium point. Here there are the demand is equal to supply, means here demand and supply both are same, so it's called the equilibrium. Okay. Okay, then after market forces drives market to equilibrium at the price, means your price is lesser than the equilibrium level. So here excess of demand and the excess of quantity is supply is specified the price, and if your price is higher than your equilibrium level, then your supply is higher, and at the equilibrium level there are the no excess demand and no excess supply. Okay, let's go to the last slide. Here you can see that, here you see that okay, here you see that at the price level, equilibrium level, yeah, यहाँ पे है equilibrium level, right? So from the equilibrium level you can see that the supply is If the equilibrium price is lesser than the equilibrium level, then your demand is higher, and if your price is higher than your equilibrium level, then your supply is higher. If both are same, so it's considered as your equilibrium. Okay. Then after, here you can see that the equilibrium in the market. So here if the demand is 800 units at the price of 3000, then your supply is 2900 units. If your demand is 1150 units, then you are at the price of $2500, then your supply is 2550 units. If your price is lesser, then your demand is increases from 1500, then your supply is decreases from 2000 to 200 units. And if your price is decreased from the 2000 to $1500, then your demand is higher from 1500 to 1850, and your supply is also lesser from 2200 to 1850. Okay, so here you can see that the price is getting the lesser, then your demand is higher, and supply is lesser, right? So here you can see there are the highlighting point. At this point your demand and supply both are same, so it's called as a equilibrium point. Then if your demand is getting the lesser from 1500 to 1000, then your demand is decreases and demand is increases and your supply is decreases. Then also your prices decline from 1000 to 500, then your demand is also increasing from 2000 to 2550, then your supply is decreases. Then if your price is 0, then demand is higher, then no supply. Okay, I hope you understand about it. Then surplus and shortage. Any price is above the equilibrium is causes to excess of supply. Any price is below the equilibrium is considered as a shortage. So the market is control will be automatically arrive the equilibrium price at the which the supply equals to demand. Any shift in the demand and supply is curve will be result in the new equilibrium. So comparison of the equilibrium is called the comparative static. So here there are the price rationing, means what? A decrease in supply is create the shortage of the quantity. Okay, right? If your supply is lesser, then we can say your demand is higher, your supply is lesser. It's created the shortage of the quantity. Demand is greater than the quantity supplied, price will be bigger. 2. The lower total supply is rational, those who are willing to able to pay the higher price. Okay. Here you see that your price is increases. Here your price is increases and here your price is increases, then your demand is decreases from, we can say here you see that from Q0 to Q1, and when your supply we can say is considered as the higher. Okay, so here there are the rationally consider if your price is P0, then your supply is Q1 and we can say that your supply is higher. If your price is higher, then supply higher, and if your price is lower, your supply is or the demand is lower. Then after, alternative price control mechanism. A price ceiling means what? A price ceiling is a maximum price that the seller may charge for the good, usually set by the government. For example of the rent control. Price ceiling means the highest price we can say that the seller can get from us. Then a price floor means what? A price floor is a price above the equilibrium price is a buyer have to pay. Example that the agriculture support price as the minimum wages, you have to consider it, right? So there are the main two terms, price ceiling and price floor. So if the government have to decide, because if a seller can use this policies unethical way, so customer can lose, we can say, their motives, right? So here government can decide these prices, and price floor there are the minimum wages is given by the producer to the buyer. Okay. So thank you so much. Here our unit number 1 part 2 regarding the theory of supply, theory of demand and the theory of the equilibrium of demand and supply is completed. So if you have any query regarding the law of demand, law of supply or if equilibrium, you can contact me anytime. You can call me, you can WhatsApp me personally. Okay, thank you so much.